Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we are talking about the brand new BLUETTI Apex 300. And Apex is appropriate because, my goodness, this thing is at the apex. So who's it for? Say, for example, you've bought a schoolie and you're going to build a schoolie. Oh wow, this thing could really work for you because it can take up to 6,400 watts of solar. So that big capacity for a lot of solar that this has, man, that would really pay off. And you could keep adding batteries as you needed more. You'd just keep adding batteries. Who knows? You can add up to 6 batteries. Are grid-tied homes, and that's probably less of my audience, but you may be watching that. Or, and this is a big or, maybe you're just starting out in your nomad journey. You're in a van, and you're thinking, I'm going to do this for a year or 2 or 3, or however long I love it. And then I'm going to buy a piece of land or a home, and I'm going to set up an off-grid cabin. And so if you're ever thinking that you might want to move up, then you might consider something like the Apex 300. But if you're in a home and you've got, and you're tied to the grid, power comes in, you're hooked up to sewer, water, well, this can still be an amazing thing because power failures are becoming more and more common. And this will act as an incredible UPS. UPS means uninterrupted power supply. You're plugged into the grid, and suddenly the power goes out, and in up to 0 to 20 milliseconds, it switches over, and your device never goes off. Even if it's a computer or something highly sensitive, it will never go off. It will just switch from the grid, coming from the local power plant, wherever that may be, to this, and it's batteries or solar, batteries and solar if you have it. That's really, really a good thing. Say your power's out for a day, a week, a month. You can, if you have solar, and you can have enough solar to run an entire house very, very easily. Yeah, it's amazing. So I think the group that'll work best for is if you're building your own out from nothing. You're building a schoolie. Oh man, this is great. You don't have to learn all this stuff. You don't have to know all this stuff. It's extraordinarily safe. You just buy this, you stick all the wires in all over the place, and boom, you've got power. It's magical. So if you're building your own system, this is, boy, is it good. I think it's head and shoulders above everybody else on the market for these large expandable power stations. This is the Apex 300, and this is the B300K battery, and you connect them together. You can see the cables over on the other side, and you can add up to 6 batteries. What's kind of unique about this for BLUETTI, this is the first time BLUETTI has done it, this actually has 2,764 watt hours of battery inside the unit. The BLUETTI 300K has 2,764 watt hours. So right here, this has 5,528 watt hours of battery sitting here just the way it is. Inverter is 3,600 watt pure sine wave. That's plenty. So the inverter is very good. It's 3,840 watts of inverter. The bottom line is that it can operate at 120 volt and 240 volt. And for a lot of you, you say, well, I don't care. Why would I ever need 240 volt? Well, if you're in a home, you probably are using some 240 volt appliances. If you're off grid, then you might very well have a deep well that is using a 240 volt pump. So this has 120 and 240 built right in, right over here. I'll show you. It has a 240 volt plug-in. So out of this one unit, you get both 120 and 240, and that makes it pretty unique. And it even has a switch here that says 120 on the top and 240 on the bottom. So when I switch this down, now this 240 volt is activated, and I can plug into it, and I'll have 240 volt, and then that's off, and now I just have 120. And you can disable this. Doesn't work anymore, and it doesn't work right now. So that is really a good thing. There's a lock right here. Now, if I flip this switch up to 120, it blinks, and it still says 120. See, it says 120 volts. That's what it's set at now. That stopped blinking because it tells you you can't do that. I'm not going to let you. Now, if I switch it to 240, it doesn't switch. It's a child lock from accidentally throwing this. Now, all my switches are disabled. This one is disabled as well. But whatever you set it to initially, that's what it'll stay at. And this is, just so you'll know, this is the silent, auto, and turbo mode. And of these, I just always use auto. Okay, now let's talk about solar input because that's one of the really, really big things. Over here on the other side, it has two XT60 inputs, which is good. So that means I can put in 6,400 watts of solar into this unit, and that's great. They will allow you to add 6 of these B300Ks, and if you do that, including the one you already have in here, you have 19,348 watt hours of battery. Well, now that's a super good start on off-grid living. The bottom line is this thing is astonishing in its upward capabilities. One of the things you can do with the app is it will allow you to get weather alerts. And if you get a weather alert and this thing knows the weather's coming, you can program it then to say, start charging now and charge nonstop until the power goes out. And then when the power goes out, you can program it to what circuits to keep charged. This just shows a lot of foresight on BLUETTI's part in thinking about, if I own a home off-grid, what would I really want to have in this device? And those are things you'd want to have. How do I think about this? It works great. It works super, super well. If it fits your needs, then it's the one to buy. So hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you on the next video. See you then.